Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Is there another person on here? No, just her, right? Yeah, I think it's just her. And supportive oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Cavendish. Wow. Words aren't happening today. Illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is spelled R-E-I-S-C-H. Okay. For some reason. Alright. Let's just see what's going on. Like, all of a sudden they got this really strong energy of, like, not being organized, which is that something that's leaving? All the tarot cards are over on this side. Alright, so you're heading towards something. Something with the past here is really strong. We don't have a lot of cards here. You get the Magic Mermaid Seduction. You've been trying to do your best. When I'm feeling, whenever this is coming to you, whenever you're watching this, you've been really trying to get things together. But I'm also getting this, I got that disorganization feel. Like, it's just kind of like, no matter how hard I fight and how hard I try, it just never seems to work out the way I need it to. And it's almost like I'm taking it day by day, but then I'm starting to beat up on myself like that's not enough. That's the energy I'm feeling here. Even though I think you are doing really well. I think it's one of those situations where you actually are doing really well, but you're not, like, giving yourself credit for it or something like that, or you're not seeing it. It's like, no matter how well you're actually doing, you're seeming to, like, cut it short, like, what's not good enough. It's weird with this card, because the tail going down makes me feel like you're not seeing your accomplishments for how good they really are. Because I think you really are doing well. But I feel like if you keep looking at yourself, you're like, no, I don't think I'm not doing well enough. I need to do better. In the environment, I get a harmony. I feel like you're keeping harmony. Things are going well. I also feel like you might be human. You might be human. Yeah, you might be human. Okay, good. You might need to look at this in a more human stance, kind of like, I feel like I'm being overcritical against myself again. I keep getting this overcritical energy, kind of like, I keep highlighting things that haven't been exactly how I needed them to be, and things would have been better of this, and things would have been better of that. But I'm getting the harmony and the energy, kind of like you're doing better than you think. Like, you're matching the energy around you. You're actually doing really well. I'm sure some of you will put comments below about what that actually is, because it's kind of confounding me. Because I keep getting, like, you are doing well, but you're not giving yourself credit. Especially with that tail going down into the water. It's kind of like, give yourself a break kind of feel. It's interesting. Because I feel like going forward, you're getting ready for something going forward. The way you've been handling things, even though you don't feel that great about it, is what I keep feeling. Other people have been feeling this way too, that you may not be realizing, and I feel like you're going to be able to, like, empathize with that later. It seems really important, because I feel like you have good things coming forward. You have a lot of good things coming forward. I'm getting going forward, even letting go of that. You do have the Seven of Wands. Even if you don't believe so, you are doing really well, and you're holding things together as much as necessary. You actually are achieving goals. You are making the grade. Like, you are doing well. It's almost like you don't realize how hard this subject is, or how hard the struggle is. It's kind of like, I feel like this is almost like taking a really hard math class or science class or something like that. And, like, you're used to getting, like, 80s and 90s, and all of a sudden you're hitting, like, 70s. You're fighting to stay in the 70s. And you're like, these grades aren't like what I'm used to, and I'm trying really hard, and usually when I try really hard, I get up in the upper 90s, but, like, I'm just staying afloat. And you're fighting, and you're doing well, but I'm getting, like, this is a test where everybody who's in this class is also struggling. Like, everybody is having a hard time. Like, people who were struggling just to make it before are, like, not doing really well. Like, you are actually doing really well. Which it's something that keeps motivating you forward, kind of like, I can't let go now. I feel like I'm just barely holding on. You are holding. You're doing really well. And I'm getting in the environment, like other people are trying to hold down too. Whatever the situation is, you're right in it with everybody else. Like everybody seems to be struggling is what I'm getting. Like everybody seems to be struggling. It's interesting. Like I said, I keep feeling like some people in the environment are always struggling, and this is just worse for them. It's just this is not normal for you to have this much difficulty with this situation. Although they're saying keep going because success is here for you. I feel like I'm putting a lot of work into something, and it makes me feel like I'm putting in a lot of work to create a garden, and I'm setting things up like I feel like in the fall, like for some things like tulip bulbs and certain flowers and things like that. There's certain things you plant in the fall, I believe, at least that's how my grandmother taught it to me, and then they come up in the spring, and there's a beautiful garden. But it's kind of like I feel like I'm doing that. I'm putting in all this work, and then I'm going into the winter, and I'm just like, it just seems so far away before this garden actually comes forward, and it's holding me down. But you do have success here. You're putting in a lot of work, and this work is going to work out for you. This is going to come around. This is going to be a beautiful thing. I just feel like I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm working, and I'm working, and I feel like all I'm doing is putting in effort. And it's kind of like it makes sense to me that it's around the bend, but I'm like, that bend is so far up there, and I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm putting them deep enough. I don't know if I'm putting them in the right soil. I don't know if I'm putting them in a place where they're going to get enough sun. Am I going to forget about them and not water them? Are they going to get enough water naturally? I'm having all these concerns. And it's there. It's kind of like you have this coming together. You're also making sure things work out because all these concerns, those are your strengths. Ironically, I think you're driving yourself a little crazy, but you're also going to set up things to help yourself. Like one thing I personally do, because I am a Pisces, if I haven't mentioned by yet. I haven't mentioned yet. I have things where I set up phone reminders if it starts to drive. Something keeps driving me nuts. Are you serious? Yep, he's serious. That's my cat. Like I'll set up phone reminders, or I'll set up lists on phone reminders to like remind myself to check something, to remind myself to not forget it. I write lists. I put them near my bed. I put them in strategic places in the kitchen or next to the computer. I'm one of those people. And sometimes that's how I get success. Like if something's driving you crazy, like what if I forget this? What if I don't do that? I'll make a list. I'll put it in my phone. I'll put a list next to my computer, in the kitchen, near my keys if I'm going to go out and I'm like, I need to get something. And I'm like, especially this time of year, well, especially during this current situation in the world, I tend to make lists and I'm like, I don't want to go to the store today. I don't want to do it. And I keep doing this until I have enough of a list and I'm like, it's time. I need to go get stuff. I need to do this. I need to get these things taken care of. And I feel like you might be doing the same, like trying to pull it together in that direction. But they're saying you are doing really well. And I feel like what you're seeing in the environment is like protection with safe home protection here, psychic protect. I'm getting like, there's like this weird disconnect, which might be, and this is valid for whenever you come to it, and maybe you're watching this after, a year or so from now, when this isn't really a valid thing with the whole world pandemic. But like, it feels like people are also pulling back, and other people are holding back. There's a lot of hold back energy, especially with the Four of Wands or Four of Pentacles. There's the disconnect from people. This might be making this a lot harder for you. If you're in a situation where you're not around people very often, or you haven't been lately, but due to whatever reason, like there's just no way around it, that might be a big thing why you're feeling the way you're feeling. There might be a very strong emotional disconnect, and it's just kind of like, well, I'm stuck with that right now. There's nothing I can do about that, but that might be one of the big reasons we're having issues. Because I'm getting like people just not near you. There is actually an open spot here I didn't notice till just now. That like feeling disconnected from people, which is making this a lot harder on you. But you might not have a choice with that. And I'm getting going forward, you do have the Ten of Wands, which is stress, but it's success through the stress. You're going to make it through this. This is going to be worth it for you. And when you get through this and look back, you're going to look back on this like, I made it through it. I did it. Whatever I had to do, I did do it. And there's a really good energy around you waiting to come close to you. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles to me talks about a very secure family, something where people look out for each other and are always there looking out for each other's backs. This is a situation where other people are looking out for you. You may not feel it or see it right now, but I do see things are coming forward later. You will make it through this, whatever this is, and I get like you are doing really well. It just feels to me, I keep feeling like this, like I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm not doing well enough. I feel like it's not actually coming together, but it is. And at some point you will see that you will come through this. Destiny and peace is telling me at some point it will make sense. This is bothersome, but the truth is what I'm getting is once you're able to connect to people again, everything will balance out. It's just how long before that happens. I know that might seem bothersome, especially like I feel like with what's going on, I don't want to be like completely emotionally, tone deaf. Is that what you call it? Like I don't want to be like emotionally tone deaf, I think is what you say. Like there's just certain barriers between people and situations where we just can't cross certain barriers right now. It's just not something we can do. But the more we find, the more we get through this, like, I don't know, I feel like next summer is going to be much better. For some people, I'm getting like late spring into early summer. I feel like things are going to very much turn around. It feels like a long time, right? Like that does. Like, it'll pass faster than you know, but to me it feels like forever. It feels like a long time, but they're telling me it will come around. And maybe some people just need that boost to realize the end is out there. I feel like the end of spring, early summer, for whatever you're going through, and that's subjective. There is some type of break. There is some type of energy coming around and things feeling better, and energy coming together and things finally being where they should be. That's what I got. With a creepy cat staring me down from behind me. So sooner or later this will work out. So I think we're there. They're saying hold on. I feel like this whole message is you are doing a lot better than you think. And good things are out there. It's just like whatever you're dealing with right now, it's just kind of like we got to keep going. We just got to keep moving. More social interaction where you can do it is better. Where that's safe for you. All right, I'm going to shut this down. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.